Hey everyone, you're on the Age of Dinosaurs channel, and today we'll tell you about the most dangerous and amazing creatures living in the Amazon pool. This huge river gives life and brings death to many animals, mammals and fish, predators and herbivores, huge monsters, and almost invisible but deadly spiders, and even frogs. We'd like to let you know right off the bat, you won't find piranhas and any other stars of this ecosystem in this video. After all, everyone knows about them from school. In the waters and on the banks of the Amazon, there are many more interesting and even not fully studied representatives of the fauna. To keep up to date with all of our videos, subscribe to the Age of Dinosaurs channel right now. And don't forget to like and leave comments to help us develop the project. And now, let's go to the Amazon. If in Africa the king of animals is considered to be lions, then in the Amazon, the giant black cayman is the top predator. It's one of the largest alligators in the world and the Amazon's largest predator, reaching more than 5 meters in length. Not surprisingly, it has no enemies in its natural habitat. Due to its size, aggressiveness, and unsociability, the Amazon black cayman is still not a well-studied animal. But don't let the word unsociable fool you. Not wanting to show itself and demonstrate itself for study, at every opportunity, the black cayman will willingly dine on every representative of the human race that hesitates. This is what happens from time to time, including with scientists who become victims of scientific research in order to study this alligator. This is exactly what happened in 2010 to Asian female biologist Daisy Nishimura, who worked and lived at a research station right in the Amazon. Sitting on a platform a meter from the water and habitually throwing the remains of fish into the river, Daisy thought that she was far enough away from the 4-meter alligator. Moreover, the alligator had been fed for a long time and, as she thought, was almost tame. But Nishimura was cruelly mistaken. Having rushed out of the water at an unprepared victim, the alligator flew to a meter in height and grabbed it with a death grip. She managed to save her life only by a miracle. In a panic, in hellish pain, she did not forget that the cayman opens its mouth with the victim only in one case, if its nostrils were pinched. Choking from a lack of air and dying from unbearable pain, shock, and tearing off her fingernails alive, Daisy was able to find the cayman's nostrils and pinch them. The predator retreated, but managed to take the scientist's leg with him. Unfortunately, these predators cannot be tamed. They have no pity, even for those who feed them. Another deadly reptile of the Amazon, the anaconda, behaves completely differently. This is the largest, heaviest snake on the planet. With a length of up to 9 meters, individual female anacondas can weigh up to 250 kilograms. While not poisonous, anacondas are fluent in the art of strangulation. Their developed and very powerful muscles make it possible to twist even large and fearless Amazonian jaguars in a deadly embrace. From air-breathing animals, let's move on to an intermediate species, a huge armored amphibian fish called the giant arapaima. Despite the gills, this living fossil that's come down to us from the era of dinosaurs can breathe oxygen above the surface of the water. For this purpose, its pharynx and swim bladder have a rich network of blood vessels, which makes them similar to lung tissue. This helps arapaima survive even the most severe droughts and thrive in the oxygen-poor waters of their native Amazon. And the fact that it breathes air above water make it common with a lot of other species. The largest known arapaima individuals had a length of up to 3 meters and a height of more than 200 kilograms. This relic predator feeds mainly on fish, but on occasion, they won't refuse to eat a bird swimming along the river. And the arapaima is saved from the insatiable and even the largest piranhas by its impenetrable armored scales. The aggressive, predatory nature of these fish sometimes becomes the cause of tragedies, including human lives. Our next representative of the Amazon animal world is radically different from the previous ones in size, but not in danger to living beings. This is a whiskered Vandalia, or Candiru from the catfish genus. They're even better known as the Brazilian vampire. This translucent little thing is often no larger than a matchstick in length and lives at the expense of other fish, parasitizing on the gills of larger inhabitants of the Amazon. By piercing the gill blood vessels with special needles, candiru fish, like real vampires, drink the blood of their victims until they're satisfied. Attention! If you're in the waters of the Amazon, never, and excuse me, never urinate in the river. It can be extremely dangerous. In any case, the locals of this area are sure of this. The indigenous people of the Amazon believe that the candiru fish can literally enter a person through the genitals. Feeling the overflow of water, similar to the movement of water in the gills, and also sensing the smell of ammonia, characteristic of the gills, small candiru can confuse your process with the activity of fish and get through the urethra almost to the middle of the body. And although this belief's not yet received scientific confirmation, this doesn't relieve the locals of superstition and fear. The electric eel is another dangerous inhabitant of the middle and lower reaches of the Amazon. Contrary to its name, this fish is not a true eel. They're a representative of the most widespread class, ray-finned fish. Reaching up to 2.5 meters in length, eels are dangerous not because of their size, but because of their ability to produce lethal discharges. Even at a time when people fell to the ground and prayed to their first gods at the sight of thunder and lightning, electric eels have been able to use electricity for their murderous purposes for many millennia. Electric organs occupy about 80% of the electric eel's body length. This fish can generate current with a voltage of up to 860 volts and a docking power of up to 40 milliamps. The plus in this living electric generator is located in the head, and the minus is in the tail. Although the object of this hunter's hunt is mainly small fish, they can defend themselves with weapons from any predators. Scientists have calculated that a full-fledged discharge of an electric eel can put even an adult horse into a deep knockout state. But not all animals in the vast Amazon are vile creatures and ruthless killers. There's also some very cute representatives of the animal world here. The main one, perhaps, is the sloth, which the whole world learned about thanks to the Ice Age cartoon series. Having an energy-saving lifestyle, leaf beetles, as sloths are correctly called, are not ready to spend a single extra calorie on entertainment, games, and especially running. They spend almost their entire lives sleeping or half asleep, not particularly waking up either during eating or during mating. Their speed of movement on the ground is no more than 1.5 meters per minute, but on the treetops they accelerate much faster, in which they can cover as much as 3 meters per minute. Another interesting fact is that due to the peculiarities of the digestive system and the low-calorie content of the leaves eaten, 2/3 of an adult's body weight can come from the contents of its intestines and stomach. And since we're close to the end of the video, let's return to where life on the planet originated, the water. The Amazonian white dolphin, also known as Inia, closes out our selection of interesting animals. This is the largest representative of river dolphins. It can reach up to 2.5 meters in length and weigh up to 200 kilograms. Despite the fact that Amazonian dolphins are predators, they're quite friendly, curious, and playful. And also, like many other dolphins, they're smart and quick-witted. For example, Inia often help push their young and inexperienced relatives off the shoal. They're not very afraid of people. They can not only follow a boat in search of frightened fish, but also swim close and even rub their bodies against the sides of small riverboats. Of course, we can't fit every interesting animal from the Amazon in this video alone. After all, the Amazon is the largest river in the world in all respects. Thousands and thousands of endemic species live in these waters and on its shores, animals and plants that cannot be found in other parts of the earth. Therefore, be sure to subscribe to our channel so as not to miss the next educational episode of The Age of Dinosaurs.